ultimate fanfare.
What's going on, world, man? We are back. First week in NFL season is back. We in full effect. We got Brandon. We got my dog Colin. What's up, bro? What's going on?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, man. I mean, we have a, like I said, football started, but I want to talk a little about college football. Even though college football, no lie, it was a bit uneventful except for a couple of games. Number one Ohio State Buckeyes stay number one by defeating Grambling 70-0. Fifth ranked Miami beats up on Bethune-Cookman 45-3, led by former Georgia Bulldog Carson Beck, who went 22 for 24 for 267 yards, replacing them with an overall pick Cam Ward, who got drafted this past April. Number 7 Texas, got to talk about Texas, overwhelmed San Jose State 38-7. Arch has a day, the day we've been waiting for. 5 total touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 running. And then finally to finish it off with is unranked North Carolina, UNC, beats up on the Charlotte 49ers 23, giving our longtime Patriot head coach Bill Belichick his first victory as the head coach of North Carolina Tar Heels. But my thing to Brandon is the Charlotte 49ers, is that a real team? Or are they an academy like, the Oak Hill Academy, IMG Academy for like really smart but less athletic kids? I guess no, those academies are for athletic, not smart kids. But anyway, yeah, it's not like a smart kid school, and that's the case. And I reserve my congratulations to Belichick until further notice, because I've never heard of the Charlotte 49ers. No disrespect, no shade towards them, but let's keep it real. I mean, I've heard of Appalachian State, I've heard of Southern Mississippi. I've never heard of them. Is that am I going overboard here?
I have never heard of that school in my life, ever. Out of the 49ers of North Carolina? Come on, bro. Like, who? What? So I have never heard of them. Like, so yes, you are not over exaggerating that one. That one was crazy. I was like, they're playing who? What? I mean, it's a layup. It was a layup. All these teams, with Grambling, that was a layup, certified layup. That 70-0. The only good thing about that, the Grambling band, they got one of the biggest audiences they've ever played in front of, with 100,000. With Ohio State, 101,000 people, they got to see some down south funk, HBCU vibes. So that was some exposure for them. But and then Miami, they beat up on FAMU's little brothers, Bethune-Cookman. So that was expected. That they gonna take whoopings like that. And then our boy Arch. I'm with my boy Mr. Red Eye Arch. He made it happen this week. Last week, it was first week. First week, So but Belichick, man, what's up with Mr. Petty though? I know they just beat the 49ers, but Mr. Petty is not letting the Patriots in their facilities. He said, they made it known that I'm not welcome at their facilities, so they're not allowed at mine. Like, bro, so your players can only get drafted by 31 teams now? Like, not the whole 32?
Exactly.
What's going on? Yeah, bro. I'm with you, bro. I don't know. I don't like that. This whole win from the 49ers is kind of suspect, and then Mr. King Petty right there is crazy right now.
Dude, tell me about. Oh! I forgot to mention too. Your Colorado Buffaloes. How did they do?
Oh yeah. We got the third string quarterback came in now, balled out. You know what I'm saying? You see Prime. Stop came into this thing. The first string Salter. Hey, the jury's still out, bro. We haven't turned our back on you all the way, but we did hear some boos in the crowd, and when it had some hiccups in the second half. So, bro, I'm just letting you know, bro, you're going to have to step it up real soon, because that third string quarterback is on your heels. And we all know Julian Lewis, the freshman, bro, the keys for you next year, okay, bro? We just get in the system. We're gonna work it out. But, hey, Dion came and did his thing, you know what I'm saying? So we looking, the future is looking bright right now. We look like we found a quarterback.
Heck yeah, hey, and shout out to Prime. As much as the stuff going on between, with Shador and Shiloh, And Dion himself, Coach Prime, he's got his own stuff to do with his own team. He's been handling everything with a lot of class, and same thing with his kids too. So we're obviously always going to be root for Prime because I love him as a player, but as a coach, he's turned out to be a really, really good man. As a father figure, he's a good football coach. He's a good recruiter. I think he's really good for the sport. And I'm not gonna lie, man. When he makes his jump to the NFL, which could be tied to Bill Belichick, which sounds crazy, but Bill is the NFL. If he goes to, UNC, another small school like Colorado football school, and Dion is having a good year and Bill's not, don't be surprised to have Dion get a bunch more NFL offers. He's already gotten NFL offers from last year, but don't be surprised if he gets a lot more offers. It might not be for a head coach. It might be for an OC. I would love to see him as a defensive backs coach. I know he wants to be a head coach, but I would love to see him as a defensive backs coach, or at least if he's a head coach, focus on the DBs. Because we haven't had a player like Prime. Granted, no one's got that athletic ability that he had, but still, though, just the way he sees the game is so unique because he knows his abilities. That's just me, man. Go ahead.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
The NFL, man. Colts Dolphins 33-8. Daniel Jones gets a start and puts the Fins away easily with 3 total touchdowns. No turnovers from Danny Dimes. Is Tua Tagovailoa, is he done? Is Mike McDaniels done? Because when you get played by Daniel Jones, okay, and it's his first year in that system. I don't even know what the system is, but 33 points. Giants fumbled, and the Colts are rolling.
Yeah, the Colts looking real good right now. The Colts looking real good. And that seat is starting to warm up down there in Miami. Because, bro, I don't know what is going on. I seen people on the sideline with attitudes, with people was fussing. I seen Tyreek Hill looking real frustrated. I noticed that he's no longer a captain anymore on the football team. They took that privilege away from him. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on down there in Miami. A lot of drama. And it was looking real Any Given Sunday-ish down there. So I'm curious to see what's going on because I like McDaniel, the head coach. Daniel's down there, like with the glasses, the hair, looked real Miami Vice. He looks the part real tough. But come on, bro, like you just said, to get done up like that by Danny Dimes, it's definitely not a good look, bro. It's definitely not a good look. So it's the first week, but this is not a good start to the season. I'm just saying.
No. I mean, Miami's gonna have to turn it down real quick, especially when you lose to the Colts team. So I'm not a fan of really the Colts organization, the way they handled the Peyton Manning situation, the way I've not been a fan of them since then. Even though with who was the quarterback they got after Peyton Manning? Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
Love Andrew Luck. But I feel like the organization is just it's a good organization like the Clippers. But it's hard for me to root for them because Steve Ballmer, great owner. Donald Sterling, not a good owner. It's tough to get through.
Also, side note, real quick. We just brought up Andrew Luck. Did you see that Andrew Luck is the GM of the Stanford football team?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a title in college now, like GM of a team. But I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. So you just brought up Andrew Luck, so I just had to throw that out there. Like, I see you, dude. I see you, bro. Okay. All right. So my bad. I didn't mean to interject.
No.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. Because I mean, I'm definitely behind Andrew Luck, But man, I don't know. Like I said, Mike McDaniel's seat's definitely getting warm. Tyreek is probably gonna hit the trade block again. At least he's probably gonna ask for a trade. If Miami does not turn around, I'm gonna say within 2 weeks, we're going to find out if the Dolphins are staying together or not. It's only going to take until week 3, I think. They're not going to wait till the trade deadline. I think it's something going to happen so quick because, I mean, you look at Tua's winning record. When he's healthy, Tua wins. The fact you got rolled up like this and you had no offense, it speaks volumes. And it speaks volumes just like the next game here. Jags, Panthers, 26-10. Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. Sunshine, for those who watch Clemson football, he looked okay, but his Clemson mate, Travis Etienne looked like he was back in Clemson, running the ball like crazy with 143 on the ground. Rookie unicorn Travis Hunter, 6 catches, 33 yards, had a couple snaps on defense. But the big story to me is Bryce Young, who really, he finished last season strong. They said, okay, look, he's looking like that number 1 pick they thought they were going to get. But he looked like hot garbage again. And I want to say, if he continues on like this, Carolina is going to be in the arch sweepstakes. Okay, let's hope not. Let's hope he picks up what he had last year with good progress. But damn, bro, Jags are not exactly imposing on defense. Trevor Lawrence is not a world beater at quarterback, and Bryce Young is looking a lot like, is Tua? Hell, he looked more like Anthony Richardson. Nah, that's wrong. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, Bryce, come on, man, you need to pick it up. Pick it up, bro.
Most definitely, Bryce, bro. You taking a step back right now, bro. That sophomore slump, bro. We cannot take that because it would. What I think this is his 3rd year coming into.
3rd year.
Yeah, this is 3rd year. So like you can't continue that. You can't continue that sophomore slump going into a junior. Like it's your time, bro. Come on, so. Hey, I'm happy. You know, my boy Travis got his first W in NFL. So Travis Hunter. So I'm extremely happy about that. Sunshine did his thing, and like you said, the running back. Hey, bro was looking like Fred Taylor out there, bro, like from the '90s. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying,
great call, Fred Taylor.
Yeah, bro. I was sitting there like, oh, bro, I haven't seen a running back for the Jaguars look like this good in a while. So I was impressed. So I'm happy to see the Jaguars doing good. You know, I'm a Florida boy, so I'm rooting for all the Florida teams. So, but hey, Bryce, you got to step it up, bro. I'm rooting for you, bro, but you got to step it up.
Big time. And you know, I like the Fred comp there with Etienne and Trevor. All you got to do is be Mark Brunell. Not that Mark Brunell's a good quarterback, but just be Mark Brunell, and you're going to do pretty well. Stop trying to be a superhero and just play within your system. We'll talk about more systems later on. But next game here, Pittsburgh Jets, barn burner, 34-32. Justin Fields had a very good game. He had 3 total touchdowns. But Aaron Rodgers turned back the clock, 4 touchdowns, all through the air, looking like a 30-year-old Aaron Rodgers MVP type. I mean... What the? I mean, and then on top of that, Aaron Rodgers talking that trash, saying it's something basically paraphrasing. It feels good to beat everyone associated with the Jets, which I'm not gonna hate on that. I don't think the Jets treated him poorly because Aaron Rodgers is overly sensitive, and I've already said I think he's a bit of an a-hole. But I like him getting his get back, man. What do you think?
Oh yeah, bro, because he definitely surprised me because I did not see this coming from Aaron Rodgers at all. And like we said, I'm not gonna lie, both quarterbacks look pretty good. Like Justin Fields, I didn't see Justin Fields looking. I didn't call him looking this good as well. He dropped some dimes in there. I was sitting there, okay, bro, I see you. And it's like, Aaron Rodgers is always gonna be petty. He always gonna go try to get his hit back. I see him walking out with Tomlinson out of the stadium, put his hand to his ear, like, what are you saying? What? Yeah, so that was pretty cool. A little showmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could appreciate that. But hey, it's a long season, and he's not a spring chicken. So we're the jury's still out on this one. But I was impressed.
Yeah. Pittsburgh started strong last year, too. They started real strong last year and fell off a cliff towards the end of the game. Still winning 11 games, but in the playoffs, they looked like they finished the season. They looked like in the playoffs the same way they finished the season. Here's 2 teams that are both need a lot of talent infusion, one more than the other. Saints, Cardinals. Were the Cardinals Saints. 2013. Kyler played well, but he still took 5 sacks, showing that he still holds the ball too much. And for a guy that elusive, taking that many sacks, you haven't figured out how to throw the ball away either. Okay, throwing the ball away to me is just as important as making completion on 2nd down. Not 3rd down, but on 2nd down, because when you take a sack, you're not just losing it down, you're losing yards. At least throwing the ball away, you stop the clock, you maintain field position, and you get to live for another down. Kyler is one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the league. I'm not gonna say he's the most athletic because you got Lamar, you've got Josh Allen, we've got Jaden Daniels. I mean, we have some ballers out there. Kyler is right up there with them athletically. He also has a huge arm. I need him to get a little bit better because you're sitting there, you're playing against the Saints. Granted, you won 20-13, and the Saints. Who's playing Saints quarterback? What, Rattler backing him up is the rookie Tyler Shuck. I don't even know if that's barely a professional team. That should have been a 40-7 type game instead of 20-13 one-score game. Kyler, I expect more. He's the best quarterback ever to come out of the state of Texas. Do you realize that? And it's not even close. Kyler Murray is the best quarterback ever to come out of the state of Texas. And we've had a lot of great quarterbacks out of Texas. And Kyler's the number one guy. I need better out of you.
As a fellow martial artist, I expect more out of Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a black belt, bro. There is no reason you are getting sacked 5 times, bro. You are supposed to be elusive, okay? It is in your DNA to be elusive.
Yes,
your whole
sir.
family are black belts, bro. Come on now, bro. What is going on? Like you just said, he is the best quarterback to come out of the state of Texas. This is not Mississippi, no disrespect. This is not Kansas. This is not Nebraska football. This is Texas football we're talking about. Okay, these guys are getting paid real money in high school football, and this dude's the best out of all of them right now. They came out of this school, this state. He is disappointing me right now. Okay, with his career in the pros, you are a Heisman Trophy, winner, like top draft pick. Bro, the most things that people know about you or are going to remember about your career is they had to put a Call of Duty clause in your contract. Bro, step it up, bro. Step it up.
Hey, 100%. I mean, every time you got to put in clause into a contract that have nothing to do with football, you got problems, bro. Okay, you got problems. Even if they didn't actually officially put it in there, the fact that you had to fight to make sure they didn't put it in there, that everybody knows that stuff, So on to like another quarterback play that probably should have played better. Barn burner there, Battle for Ohio, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, 17-16 in a stinker. Both quarterbacks were mediocre at best, and we're really surprised more at Joe Burrow because there are pundits that consider Joe Burrow maybe the best quarterback in the NFL, and you can argue that with his numbers, okay? However, Joe Flacco's not considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, yet he was one possession away, one field goal away, actually one safety away from winning this game. However, Cincinnati, I bet, is sure glad that they decided to pay or at least give Trey Hendrickson a couple more bucks because he had 2 sacks out of the 3 sacks you had. 2 sacks out of 3 sacks you had, and then 3 out of the 5 quarterback pressures you had. Mr. Garrett, Myles Garrett. Mr. Garrett was his usual dominant self, of course. But, by the way, Joe Flacco, in his defense, one of the picks he had, because he had 2, were off the receiver's hands. Tillman literally was reaching out for a catch, bounced off his hands into the defender's hands, running it back for a good return. And then Cleveland also missed a go-ahead 36-yard field goal late in the 4th to put them ahead. So Flacco did enough to win. So everyone was talking about Flacco should be bent. Flacco did enough to win. You got to catch the ball. Kickers got to make kicks. But at the end of the day, Joe Burrow, you should never be within 20 points of Cleveland. Okay, you're a 40-point quarterback all day long. Scoring 17 points against Cleveland. I don't care if they got Myles Garrett. Okay, they don't have Myles Garrett on both sides. Okay, they're not fielding Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, and Prime Dion in the secondary. Okay, they have a good secondary. Denzel Ward is no joke. Okay, that kid can play. He'd start on almost any team. But you're Joe freaking Burrow. Okay, people zoom in on your cigars that you're smoking just to smoke the same damn cigars you're smoking. Okay, so I want to hear it. Come on, Joe.
Yeah, I was definitely disappointed in Joe. I was expecting big numbers from Joe this week. I was like, bro, come on, bro. The Browns, we know the Browns, besides Myles Garrett, and they got 1 or 2 dudes back there in the secondary, but I'm not really expecting, nobody's fearing too much the Browns defense.
Yeah.
Like, they're not top ranked. So it's like, come on, bro. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, go be Batman and Robin. What's going on, bro? Calm down. And Joe Flacco, I'm not hating on Joe. I'm a fan of Joe
No.
Flacco. So Joe did his thing, and it wasn't. He didn't. They didn't lose because of Joe Flacco. It was just some unfortunate circumstances, like you said. That one interception, that tip, that's just bad luck. It happens in football, but you know, I've been calling other people petty. I'm gonna be petty on this one. This one felt good. Until they do right by my boy Shador. Until they do right by my boy Shador. I'm rooting against the Browns. So hey, if they had to lose, they had to lose. It is what it is with this one. But hey, Joe, I'm with you, Joe. You know, you didn't lose because of you, Joe.
True that. Hey, you know, we're both rooting for Shador. I think he's definitely going to get some starts this year. I think they're eventually going to, when they hit a rough patch, and it's Cleveland, so they're going to definitely hit a rough patch. They'll put in Gabriel if he's healthy. Gabriel, I'm guessing Gabriel's going to play okay, and then he's going to go through a rough patch or unfortunately most likely get injured, and then Shador's going to get a chance to play, and then it's going to come down to he's going to have to perform because there will be no more excuses of, hey, well, he's playing with the threes, he's playing with people who shouldn't be playing. The only thing they can give an excuse for is you're playing with a team that sucks, and a lot of those players wouldn't start on other teams. However, you got to play better than your predecessors. As long as he plays better than Joe Flacco, plays better than Dylan Gabriel, Shador is going to show that he belongs in this league. And I think he's going to show that. Whether he shows it this year or next year, he's going to show that he belongs in this league. But again, I'm with you. We're rooting for him to see some time this year. And I want him to play well because I want Dion to feel good as a father. I'm a father. I'm super proud of my kids. And there's just something about, you know, he's proud of his kids no matter what. But there's something about puffing your chest out when you see a kid. He's going to get there. And he's going to come, I told y'all. We're building
Exactly.
here. And Prime, you have every right to say that. Every right. So on to another team, maybe some more teams that maybe didn't blow it up there, but Tampa Bay, who we're high on, Atlanta Falcons, who I am high on the Falcons, and I'm a homer because Michael Penix went to my alma mater, University of Washington.
Yeah.
Penix almost had 300 yards and 2 total touchdowns. Falcons could have tied it up at the end of the game, late in the fourth, but they missed the field goal. But Baker Mayfield, I already said last week, he's going to be an MVP candidate. He had 3 touchdowns, one with a minute left to take the lead, and he led both squads. He led Tampa Bay and Atlanta in rushing, and he's not a rushing quarterback. And then the Bucs rookie quarterback, Emeka Egbuka, who some say maybe he was the best receiver in the draft, had himself a day with 2 touchdowns as a rookie wide receiver. Now, he ain't going to go and average 38 touchdowns on the year, but he is going to have a pretty decent season. And you got Baker Mayfield as quarterback, Bucs over Atlanta, and I'm high on Atlanta. I think this is a bigger win than people realize.
Oh, I think so too. I think Atlanta's gonna be actually pretty good this year. Like with the running back quarterback combination, that they're solid. They're gonna be solid for the next couple of years. Like at Falcons, you can put them in there. Like I've seen enough from week one. Like this was it wasn't the best, you know what I'm saying, loss, but it was a good loss if it could be a good loss because I saw good things from the Falcons. I didn't see the same Falcons that like I was always disappointed in since I moved here. So, you know, I've seen promise. But 3 tutties for my boy Baker Mayfield, yo. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry that I'm yelling, but you know, hey, we called it. Baker Mayfield, possible MVP season this year. I see good things from Tampa Bay this season. So, and I don't know what is going on with Chris Godwin, bro. He is hurt he's not expected back till week 5 right now. He got hurt in training camp. So like the Tampa Bay literally has 3, maybe 4 number 1 receivers. And
I know.
This is crazy. Loaded. So I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield. He has all the pieces to be a good team this year. So it's just the defense got to do their thing. We gonna hope they stay solid. So, but another Florida team. So I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, and I was surprised. Speaking of you talking about the Bucs being in the position they're in, I'm surprised now that the Bucs weren't in the Micah Parsons sweepstakes because. You had a guy like that to their defense. You already have all the extra. They got. Mike Evans is. he's a Hall of Famer, and he's still 5 years away from retiring. You know, Chris Godwin, Emeka, I mean, they've got ballers out there. I'm surprised they didn't go after, like, you know, after a Micah Parsons because, man, you shore up that defense, takes a lot of pressure off your offense, and we kind of saw that with Cincinnati last year with Joe Burrow putting up, you know, an incredible season and not making the playoffs. I'd like to see Tampa Bay try to shore up the defense a little bit more, you know, but, you know, I think Atlanta has got a lot of promise. They still got Drake London. They got Kyle Pitts. Bijan Robinson might be. He's in my top 3 running back. I'm lying. He's in my top 5 running backs. This year
top
already,
5.
and he doesn't have the stats. I mean, because, you know, you got Saquon, Derek. I got Jamar Gibbs. I got Bijan, and there's someone I'm forgetting that's really obvious, I'm sure. Anyway, I got Bijan up there in my top 5.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
Christian McCaffrey has to be healthy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and McCaffrey. I forgot McCaffrey. Yeah, McCaffrey would be my 5.
Yeah, he has to,
healthy or not.
He has to be healthy. Okay. Oh, all right.
You know, but you know what I'm saying. Though. I mean, that's they got themselves a squad, and that's why I think it's a great win for Tampa because Atlanta is that stacked. That's why it looks so good to Atlanta. You know, and speaking of like looking good and not looking good, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. That's I like Chris Berman right there. Raiders against the Patriots, 20-13. Patriots, I'm telling you, Vrabel is doing a hell of a job on the defense. You bottled up the rookie sensation Ashton Genty to 38 yards in 19 attempts. Okay, he's averaging 2 yards a carry, and I'm honestly, I didn't see that happening. But here comes Geno Smith with his accurate self, 362 yards through the airs. He put the Raiders up ahead early in the third. Game over. And it's only 20-13. Are we seeing a resurgence for the Raiders? Are they going to be something here? Or do we see the Patriots are not going to be as good as everyone thinks they're going to be because, they got Drake May, they got Vrabel there now. You know, they're putting pieces together. I think they got Stephon Diggs. I don't know if he played or not because I didn't watch the Raiders-Patriots game because it's the Raiders and the Patriots. But anyway, do you think either of those teams can do anything this year?
I think the Raiders look pretty good. I'm just concerned. I haven't seen the medical report today about Bowser, the tight end, the rookie tight end from last year. I think he came out the game early with an injury because he started out balling, and then I think he came out. I don't know. I think it was a hamstring injury, but I'm not sure. But I hope not, because that hamstring injury that's something that's like 4 or 5 weeks, no matter what. But I hope he does well. I see with Geno Smith, like I said, Geno Smith is accurate as can be. He doesn't make dumb decisions. He's having a resurgence of his career. So I'm happy to see what the Raiders are going to do. So but as far as the Patriots, I'm rooting for Mike Vrabel. That's about it. I don't root for the Patriots at all after that.
I don't like the Patriots. I'm a Giants fan, so I don't like the Patriots. But I do like Vrabel. I like him as a player, even though he played for the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach in Tennessee. He was a hard-nosed coach in Tennessee. He knows ball. He's arrogant. I mean, he's all the things you want a head coach to be. Get arrogant without being an a-hole. He's all those things you want a head coach to be. He's big, strong. I mean, he's that imposing guy. He's not your small guy, like, you know, there's some small guys like Tony Dungy. But Tony Dungy, he commanded your respect through his intelligence and his poise and the fact that he could be furious mad and he'll never utter a cuss word. He'll just tell you, I'm disappointed, without telling you you're an effing you-know-what. So, with the exception of those guys, and there's only a few of those, Vrabel's the dude. Speaking of dudes, man, I don't know what to talk about. So I'm going to go off on a tangent here, so I apologize ahead of time. I'm a Giants fan, so I picked us to lose this game against Washington. Okay, I picked the Giants to lose against the Commanders. What I didn't pick is how we lost. And so, okay. So, I got some notes here, okay? Same old Giants, obviously. I ain't got to read that part. Watching Jaden Daniels outrun one of the more athletic, I'd say top 5 athletic edges in the NFL with Brian Burns. Okay, Jaden Daniels outran Brian Burns, which no one's surprised with that. Okay, that's not surprising, because Jaden Daniels is an elite, not just an elite athlete at the quarterback position. He's an elite athlete in the NFL. So outrunning Brian Burns, who is a very, very good athlete in the NFL, but not an elite one. But then watching Russell Wilson have to throw it away because he can't outrun defensive tackle Deron Payne. Okay, by the way, these plays are very close to each other, so it's not like you had to really watch a lot of game. They're within the same 5-minute stretch. But watching Russell Wilson, who can scramble a little bit, and he led the Giants in rushing, Deron Payne is a 300-plus pound man, probably a 320-plus pound man, hawking down Russell Wilson. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. I think Kafka is a decent OC. I think our defensive coordinator Shane Bowen is a decent defensive coordinator. DC outcoached in the first half horribly. Okay, second half is a little better. Late in the third to the fourth, when Kafka finally realizes I can't run up the middle against Deron Payne and them, especially with a converted wide receiver, first-year running back, played 1 year running back in college his last year, came to the NFL, so he's not a big guy. You run up the middle 10 straight times, 12 straight times, 15 straight times, and you get nothing. Maybe you should stop doing that. I mean, to the point that Tyron Trace looked unathletic, and he's very athletic. He's very explosive. I'm watching him do slow motion spins. I'm like, what the heck is going on over here? Jaden Daniels right now, to me, is easily the best quarterback in the NFC East. Okay, granted, it's not saying a whole lot because we got Russell Wilson, then you got him, and then Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts. Oh, I guess you put Jalen Hurts. No, Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the freaking NFC East, even over Hurts. Okay. Next week when the Giants play the Cowboys, if it looks like this, do not be surprised to see Jackson Dart come week 3. Okay? If our offense, because the whole point of bringing Russell Wilson in here and our revised defense with Abdul Carter and Darius Alexander and adding Javon Holland, Paulson Adebo as our best corner, this is what we got. I'm telling you right now, Jackson Dart's going to be coming in week 3 with trying to wait for a soft landing for the Saints. I think he's going to come in a lot earlier than that if our offense continues to struggle because John Mara, owner with Steve Tisch, is not going to settle for that because if they don't make changes, gosh, I don't want to lose Brian Dable as a coach. I think he's a good coach. Dabes is gone. I don't know if they let go of the GM, Joe Shane. It's a possibility. Goodness gracious, somebody figure it out before everybody's freaking fired because if Jackson doesn't work out, everyone's fired. 30 people are going to be hitting the freaking free agent job market because the Giants suck so bad that they can't seem to figure out the basic stuff in football, offensive or defensive. Let me stop.
I'm with you, bro, especially with Danny Dimes like running crazy all over the Dolphins this week, and then Saquon Barkley being Saquon Barkley is what WTF is going on right here. So I'm with you, bro. I'm not gonna pile on. That's my 2 cents about this game. I'm not gonna pile on for you because I understand. Because at the end, I feel your pain today too. So I feel you.
It's you know what it is? It hurts my feelings, and I'm a sore loser. Okay, I'm a sore loser. I've always been a sore loser. Whether we're playing, pickup basketball, or in high school, college, playing basketball, football, whatever. I've always been a sore loser. I'm a sore loser when you want to play rock paper scissors, Uno. Don't get me playing Uno. I'll want to fight for Uno. So just don't listen to me. I'm just being a little baby. Speaking of another more crappy games, there's a lot of defensive games that happen this year, or maybe the offense is having trouble getting on track. But Texans, Rams, this was supposed to be an offensive explosion in my opinion. Okay, 14-9.
Yeah.
Defensive. I mean, granted, they both have good defensive teams, true, but their offensive players overshadow the defensive players. C.J. Stroud struggled again. Tried to establish rhythm behind a poor offense. It was a patchwork offensive line. They lost Larry Tunsil to the Commanders. And that was their offensive alignment. And I know people say, well, Tunsil, he's gets a lot of penalties. Yeah, but he doesn't allow sacks. I think he allowed 2.5 sacks all year last year. So anyway, Yeah. So Texans are struggling. Rams, though, had one star player, not Matt Stafford. Puka Nacua, 10 catches, 130 yards. He is ready for the season. But I'll say this much. If the Rams continue on and play well the entire season, continue on, say Puka Nacua, Matt Stafford picks it up, Devontae Adams contributes more than just 4 catches and 40 yards. The Rams go deep, this could be Stafford's swan song. I could see him wanting to retire on top if they have a successful season. I don't think necessarily that they're in the Super Bowl conversation, not yet. They could. They have the pieces to do that. But I think if the Rams go really well, go deep, this could be Stafford's last year, him wanting to just end his little career on top. And I wouldn't be mad at him for it. He's got a Super Bowl already. He's a hell of a quarterback. He is the gold standard for a lot of young quarterbacks. I mean, C.J. Stroud in particular talked about, outside of a little bit of Mahomes, because Mahomes can do things you just can't teach, he only watches Matt Stafford. Watches football, watches release, watches the way he manages the game. Matt Stafford is the perfect quarterback. I don't know if I agree with that, but I would say he's been a hell of a quarterback his entire career. And if C.J. Stroud's going to watch somebody, watch Matt Stafford. However, C.J., I need you to be rookie C.J., and light this league up like everyone knows you can do.
Yeah, definitely. C.J. Stroud is looking like the junior slump, because that sophomore slump hit him hard. So that junior slump is like, bro, you got to fight your way out of this, bro. Come on now, bro. What's going on? And unfortunately, like we talked off camera, with that previous era with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, how Drew Brees is kind of overlooked,
right,
in that group. Yes, I feel like Matt Stafford is being overlooked right now too, because Matt Stafford, like you just said, is that gold standard, like gunslinger. He's our version right now of Brett Favre, like just a cannon of an arm and willing to take chances, like kind of a maverick. How he does the no look passes and stuff. That Patrick Mahomes kind of got that from him. Like he's been doing that for a long time now. So I'm with you. Matt Stafford he needs, this might be his swan song, because I've been hearing from behind the scenes that he's been having some back issues, and he doesn't want to do surgery. So understandably so. So if he has a good season this season, and nobody's going to be mad at him if he decides to take a step away. I mean, because a couple of years ago, the head coach was thinking about taking a step. So can't nobody get mad at Matt Stafford if he wants to call it a career. The coach is not the one out there getting smashed and having your back compressed down by 350 pounders landing on top of you and stuff like that. Bro, come on now. So it's like, I'm not going to be mad at him if he decides to go out on top.
No doubt. Speaking of players that probably should play a little bit better, and none of these guys are going to be leaving. Well, actually, one guy could be leaving. 49ers Seahawks 17-13 in another defensive effort that we've seen. Brock Purdy had a pretty good game. A lot of yards, but 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But the big story is Sam Darnold. Are we going to get Minnesota Sammy, who had 35 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, or Draft Bust Sammy, who was Draft Bust Sammy? I'm hoping for the former, but it's looking like the latter. I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not really sold on Sam Darnold right now. I don't really know how many offensive weapons he has out there to work with out there in Seattle. So, DK Metcalf left this offseason. I can't really name another wide receiver.
Jackson Smith-Njigba. That's the number one guy. Jason.
Yeah. He's
a stud. Jackson's a stud.
Yeah, okay. All
he
right.
reminds
So,
me of like Antonio Brown, like that kind of ability. Like he's not gonna blow the top. He's not gonna run like 23 miles an hour, but he's very precise route runner. He's always gonna get open. He's the guy who could lead the league in catches for sure.
Okay, so Sam Darnold, he has some time. He got some, work some time in with him. Make sure he can get develop their chemistry, and this is like their first game together, so it's going to take some time to get some things together. Uh, as far as the 49ers with Brock Purdy, I heard Kittles, believe Kittles went out with an injury as well.
He
And
did.
Kittles, so Brock Purdy, that's a large part. He's going to be missing Kittles, and with the exit of Debo Samuels this offseason,
Yep.
that's going to be a large portion of their offense. They're going to have to sit make it make some adjustments to that system. So we're going to see. We're going to see how that goes.
I think you're right with Kittle being hurt, but if he comes back, remember Christian McCaffrey's coming back to full strength. Brandon Ayuk's gonna be coming back soon. They still got Juwan Jennings. That defense is still there. I mean, well, pieces of the defense are still there. You still got Fred Warner. You still got Nick Bosa. So they got some ballers out there. I'm not giving them a pass if they don't play well, because it's not like they don't have. They're not devoid of talent like some teams are. You know, when you go to Cleveland, for example, they got Jerry Jeudy, I think, still out there. I think Jerry Jeudy, he's a good receiver, but they don't have the team that freaking the Niners. Niners are stacked from top to bottom. Maybe not the way they were 5 years ago, but they still got a lot of talent. And they got a really good coach. They got a really good system. And Brock Purdy, we're talking about system quarterbacks. Brock Purdy knows that system and is operating the system at a high level of efficiency that I don't think every quarterback can do. You know, so in that case, when I talk about system quarterbacks, we'll talk about him later. I think Brock Purdy is a hell of a quarterback, and he's doing as good as anyone can do in that system. Now, he needs to get back to his old ways of not turning the ball over, because he's usually not a high interception guy, so I need him to get back to that. The Niners are going to be fine. On to a team that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you good. I was going to correct myself. I did some research while you were talking. Brock Bowers, it was a knee injury. It wasn't a hamstring. It was George Kittle's with the hamstring injury. So I just wanted to correct myself with that.
Right. It was a leg injury. Brock Bowers with leg injury, knee or the hamstring. You were right, leg injury. Either way, two top-level tight ends not being there, their pass catchers need those guys. It's not like this is the tight end for the Giants or I don't know, I can name another team with a bad tight end. No, these are two top tight ends. I mean, George Kittle. Okay, and Brock Bowers set the freaking rookie reception record last year with like 112 or some crap like that. A lot of freaking catches as it's at the tight end position for the Raiders. And who was their quarterback last year?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Nobody knows.
So shout out to Brock Bowers, man. Packers Lions. So I mean everyone's really high on the Lions because the past couple of years Dan Campbell's had the Lions, on fire. And I've been low on the Packers because I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Love, and I look stupid now because Jordan Love played lights out. Packers won 27-13 against the Lions. Shout out to Micah Parsons getting his first sack, playing a handful of snaps. And man, that dude looked like I saw it was a tweet. Micah Parsons looks like a freaking cheetah going after the gazelle. Watch that again, and just the way, because it's not a straight line. He has to kind of like weave a little bit because Goff is scrambling for his life, and Micah just homes in him with a heat-seeking missile and just takes him down. It was very, very impressive for a guy that's got a back injury. But to me, the big story here is Lions, high-powered offense. They've always had high-powered offense, looking very, very pedestrian against a Green Bay defense that's just okay. Granted, they have Micah Parsons, but Parsons wasn't playing full time.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the Bears' offense, because we talked about this last week, losing Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator now to the head coach of the Bears. I'm wondering if that's impacting this Bears offense more than people are realizing. And is this the beginning of the end of the Super Bowl contending Detroit Lions? Great, they haven't been to a Super Bowl, but they've been in the conversation to compete for Super Bowl because they've had the number one offense. They've had a top-level defense. Aiden Hutchinson's back. But right now, they're looking lost as all get out. What's happening?
Yeah, they're looking real mediocre right now. Looking real mediocre on the offensive side right now. So they're gonna have to get it together because it's yesterday was not a good look. But I want to point out whoever is the recruiting talent coordinator or personnel for the Green Bay Packers, they have hit on quarterbacks the last couple of decades. Okay, like it errors. Like I know my age, but I'm gonna show my age a little bit. Brett Favre, then Aaron Rodgers to Love. Love is looking like a straight stud right now, bro.
Yeah,
It's looking like they gonna be set for the next 10 years. Like I'm not putting how Mahomes, how they're like, okay, Mahomes looking good. The Chiefs gonna be good for the next couple of years. Like, of course, Mahomes done won Super Bowls and this and that, but like how we was like, okay, signal caller, they're set. They got that position on lock. That's how the Packers is looking right now. Like Packers is, hey, whoever is in charge of evaluating quarterback talent for the Green Bay Packers, they are doing their job extensively well. Like they need a raise. Whoever is their son need the job after them because it's in their DNA. Whoever has that job for the Green Bay Packers, they are doing exceptionally well. I know you're not a big Love fan. I'm sorry, I know, but I'm pouring it on because the Green Bay Packers, they are not an organization that I want to like go visit, or I don't want to go to the Wisconsin to go to see a game, but they are one of the storied franchises, and much respect for them for getting it right because we have seen a lot of organizations get it wrong consistently. So shout out to them for getting it right.
Hey, and before Brett Favre, Bart Starr. I mean, they have been nonstop. You're right. Quarterbacks, and we talk about offline. It's not just drafting great talents. These are great, durable talents. I mean, Brett Favre didn't get hurt. I don't know about Bart Starr, his injury history. I just know that he won. Okay? Brett Favre won, didn't get hurt. Aaron Rodgers won, didn't get hurt. And now Jordan Love's here. He's winning. I'm going to give some credit to Matt LaFleur, too. I think Matt LaFleur is a fantastic coach. I think he's underrated because of his bit of a bristling type of personality. Phenomenal coach. His innovative mind. I don't think we talk about Sean McVay a lot because he's super smart, right? Sean McVay's just like, can recall things like LeBron James. Recall like this play when I was 10 years old and we were in a fade. Whatever. Okay, yeah, Sean McVay, you're a genius. Great. Everyone knows it. Bill Belichick, of course, right. Matt LaFleur is one of those dudes, man. I think Matt LaFleur can take almost any team that's struggling and turn them around into a successful franchise. Okay, that's what I think Matt LaFleur is. And that's why I think Jordan Love is a good quarterback. But I think this is more on Matt LaFleur than it is on Jordan Love. And call me a hater or whatever. I don't give a shit what people say. This is how I feel, and I'm allowed to feel how I feel, okay? Now, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to say, hey, I'll eat crow. Y'all are right. Jordan Love's going to Hall of Fame. He just won his third Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes sucks, blah, 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 blah. But that hasn't happened yet. So Jordan Love is still going to be just an okay quarterback. He's like Jared Goff, a very good quarterback. But I don't see you winning nothing with Jared Goff or Jordan Love. On to quarterbacks that also haven't won. But I think they're going to win because they have that top 3-4 talent. Top 10 talent in the history of the game. Okay, and that is the Bills-Ravens. I initially had this as Ravens-Bills because I thought the Ravens were going to win. 41-40, Bills over the Ravens. Ravens up 40-25. Bills storm back with authority. Josh Allen, current MVP, put the team on his back like an MVP should. Okay? Now, granted, Bills did what they were supposed to do, or at least what we hope them to do, at least what we've seen them do against the Kansas City Chiefs. Granted, they've been on the losing end of those because whoever had the ball last has won that game. But we've seen Josh Allen in these games before, down, and he just comes and does everything he can to come back and hopefully win. The defense is going to be the deciding factor, and this game was that. Lamar and the offense fizzled. The defense that was decent, and I say decent because if you allow 25 points in 3 quarters, you're not great, but you're decent. They fell apart beneath the weight of the Bills' offense. All hell broke loose. And now I'm wondering what the Ravens are going to do to respond. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to be fine. I'm not worried about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They're going to be fine. This is like, a number one team in college, Texas losing their first game, you're going to be fine. As long as you continue to have a good season, you're going to be okay. But this is more about the Bills coming back down big and winning, because they couldn't do that against Kansas City in the AFC Championship games. This was an AFC Championship game, but this was by far the most. This was, to me, right now, this could go down as the game of the year in the very first week of the season. That's how good this game was. And Lamar was brilliant. Josh was brilliant. I can't stop talking about. I mean, it was just an amazing game. I'm probably gonna watch this again, at least as reference, every time I see a bad game. Just turn that game on just to make me feel better about being a football fan. And also, I forgot to say, to the crowd here, Brandon is a Ravens fan. So I apologize for going on a tangent like this about the Ravens losing, but the Ravens are gonna be fine. They're a top 3 team in this NFL, and Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, might be the best player in the NFL. My bad. Go ahead.
Thank you for giving my boy his props. Appreciate it. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with on the highlight. Y'all saw my boy B Hop last night with that one-hand Spider-Man catch. That was amazing. That was my boy did his thing, and like we said off camera, it's we kind of overlook it because he's done so many of these catches throughout his career from 14, 15 different quarterbacks he's done this with. So, but it's also great to see greatness happen in front of you. So it was a great play. But bro, I saw the momentum shift in the game. I saw the Bills score, cut it down between the 2 scores. Derrick Henry, I saw him fumble. Once Derrick Henry fumbled in the 4th quarter, I was like, that's the game. It's it. It's a wrap. And then oh my God. All right, bro, like you just said, it's the best. It's the game of the season, the game of the year already. But my knock at the end is bring me back bad memories, okay? It's bring me back bad memories, okay? I'm trying to step out of it because, bro, I'm trying not to be mad, but for some odd reason, the Ravens cannot win the big game. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, it's so many times that we're going to see the same like play happen again. Like, this is like watching Romeo and Juliet happen over and over and over again. And it's just like, come on, bro. It's, oh my God. Like, bro, we saw the defense could not stop anybody in the second half. Nothing. Exactly. They couldn't, bro. They're running straight through them. It is 4th and 3, bro. I understand if we don't get it, they can just kick a field goal. But, bro, we got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Go get those 3 yards and close the game out with, because we give them the ball back. We know what Josh Allen does with the ball at the end of the games. He makes it happen 10 times out of 10 times. If you give him enough time on the clock, he will make it happen. And it's like, we have seen this over and over again. And I'm sorry to be yelling, but it's like one of the best games we have seen in modern football was a couple of years ago with the Bills and the Chiefs. That game literally came down to who had the ball at the end of the game with enough time to win. Both quarterbacks have proven they will make it happen at the end of the game. Don't put the ball in his hands. The defense, you do not have Ray Lewis back there. You do not have Ed Reed. Bro, what are you doing? So that's my take. I stayed up late last night watching that game, and I seen it. I was like, that's we lost. We lost. As soon as they punted the ball, I knew we lost. And the momentum was all on their side. Everything. Josh Allen, MVP. We know he's one of those special players, just like Lamar. He will make it happen. If he can't pass it, he will run for the 3 or 4 yards that they need. And that's like trying to tackle him is like trying to tackle Gronk. It's going to be a tough day for anybody. That dude is 6'6", 250 pounds. It's like, bro,
all day.
This is a dude's dude. He gonna go get those hard yards. So I'm sorry for going off on a tangent, but this just they can't win the big game. When we got to win the big game, all this regular season fluff doesn't mean anything to me until you win the big game. And they are proving over and over again that they cannot do that. So,
man, so I think Baltimore needs an elite edge rusher, and I see them trading for somebody by the trade deadline because, like you're saying, their offense is lights out. They have Kyle Hamilton is, if he's not the best safety in the league, he is a top 3 safety in the league. He can make, I mean, he was all over the field. I mean, he's going to cause forced fumbles, get picks. He's going to have key stops in the run game, pass game, coverage. Kyle Hamilton can do everything. He is that Derwin James for Baltimore that he does for the Chargers, right? But they need to be able, one, an edge rusher, not a little guy, a big edge rusher, you know, someone who's 250 plus, who's as big as Josh Allen, can defeat his man and get, at least, if you can't take him out, at least put pressure on Josh Allen so he's not just sitting back there all day long dissecting your defense. Get some pressure on him. And so I think Baltimore needs to work on that. I mean, offensively, I've always been critical of Baltimore in terms of not giving Lamar enough talent to play with. I mean, he's getting, you know, for a while he had Mark Andrews. You're not going to win anything when your tight end is your only, not your best weapon, but your only weapon. Now they've got Derrick Henry, who, by the way, averaged 9.4 yards a carry. I'm not going to get mad because Derrick Henry fumbled the ball. Yeah, it was a bad time, but he averaged 9.5 yards a carry. He could have fumbled 3 times. You still should have been up by 3 touchdowns. I mean, you dropped 40 points. The defense has got to step up like a little bit. Like a little bit. Okay, if the offense scores 40 points, you can't allow 41. You just can't. I don't care if it's against Josh Allen. Okay, Kansas City isn't known for their crazy defense. Baltimore's known for good defense. They're great historically because of, you know, like you said, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Tony Siragusa, Sizzle. I mean, Chris McCall. They had a bet prime, of course. They had a bevy of defenders. Kansas City's got Chris Jones and the defense coordinator Steve Spagnuolo as their 2 best players. Okay. I'm sorry. They got the defensive back too. Who was his name? And he's really good too. But damn it, Baltimore, get your stuff together. Get your defense together. Your offense is fine. I mean, Zay Flowers is legit. Okay. Isaiah and Mark, both good tight end duo. They're gonna be fine. D-Hop doing D-Hop stuff, and then you've got Derrick Henry backing him up. You got Justice Hill. Get the defense together. You know. All right. I'm gonna stop. I'm not even a fan of them, but I'm getting hot about it. All right. Last thing we're gonna talk about. We talked about this at length, and that is, and it's not just from Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman talked about it, and I agree with Richard Sherman, by the way. He talks about system quarterbacks. And yet he's not talking about system quarterbacks being a derogatory term like it's always been. We talk about system quarterbacks like, you know, Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, these system guys. They won Super Bowls, but they played within the system. They didn't cause any turnovers. They didn't score a lot of touchdowns either. The offense wasn't humming. The defense really did all the dirty work. But the quarterback ran a system. Sherman was saying a system quarterback is a positive thing because not everyone can run a system the way it's supposed to be ran. And he's constantly talking about Tom Brady being the ultimate system quarterback. And I agree with him to an extent because in New England, Tom Brady could run that system while no one else really could. But then Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl in a different system, and he won it kind of easily. You know, at least it seemed like easily. He didn't seem like he was struggling that much. Granted, he had a bunch of great players, but a different system. What do you think? Derogatory QBs, is that a derogatory term for a system? Not derogatory. System QBs derogatory, or is that fair?
I think it's a fair assessment. I think some people want to, place it as a derogatory term, but I feel like you said, Tom Brady was the greatest system quarterback. But when Richard Sherman said that, I agree totally. Like, he fit within inside the Patriot system and executed extremely well until history changed and Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers and has did extremely well, won a championship. And that system has not been successful since Tom Brady has left. So it's I hate to say it, like we talked about it. Matt Castle was the only other quarterback that we have seen being successful in that system. Other than that, yeah. Other than that, Belichick is in UNC right now for a reason because that system didn't do well. So it's not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but if you, that's you're doing your job if you're a system quarterback, and that's all you can ask for. You're doing your job. Yeah, everybody can't be the Matt Staffords, the Brett Favres, the gunslingers, the Mavericks out of the world. If you do your job and you win games within this system, that's what they're asking you to do. So I don't see that as a derogatory, remark. I'm doing my job if I'm a system quarterback, and if I'm winning within this system, I'm a winner, regardless of what you want to say, system or no system. Everybody plays within the offensive coordinator's playbook. So quote unquote. So everybody plays within a system. If I'm successful, I'm successful. Like a lot of the haters of the Brock Purdy haters of the world, bro. He went to the Super Bowl. He produced. He was successful. Just because this dude was maybe Mr. Irrelevant, like the last picks or whatever, bro. The dude balled out, and you're just mad because the dude balled out. So some dudes, it's the ego thing in the league as well. Some of those dudes be all on themselves. I'm the number one pick. I'm first rounder, second rounder, this and that, bro. If you're balling and you're winning, that's all it is to me. So how you feel about it?
I'm 100% there. I mean, Brock Purdy, if he didn't get hurt, they beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. Okay, but Purdy got hurt. And, people, and you've heard it too, ever since Purdy came in the league and won the starting job, when Trey Lance got hurt and the backup Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, they threw in Brock Purdy, and, the rest is history. Purdy is a system quarterback. But guess what? He's running a system better than Trey Lance, who they gave away, a bunch of picks to move to get him. Better than Jimmy G, who was drafted by the Patriots, and the Patriots system came to the Niners thinking that he was going to be the next guy. Good-looking quarterback. Not a good quarterback. And then you got Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy's in there, and he's not just handing the ball off. Brock is chucking the ball down the field with efficiency. Okay, high rate of accuracy. Down the field, intermediate, short throw, screen throw. He's doing everything you'd expect. Now, can he throw it 70 yards like, Josh Allen can? No. Okay. How many quarterbacks can do that, though? You got a handful in the league that can do that. Okay? Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes. There's some others. But there's not that many. And it's not a prerequisite to win a Super Bowl. And so I'm looking at Purdy a lot like another veteran quarterback who is also a great, maybe the best system quarterback, only because Tom Brady won in a different system. So he's not bound just by that title, and that's Drew Brees. Drew Brees, statistically, regular season, championships notwithstanding, which is why it's a regular season, maybe the best regular season quarterback in the history of the game. If you look at, he's got the most 5,000 yard seasons. He's had the least amount of amazing receivers to throw to. I mean, he had the 4.840 Marcus Colston as his number one receiver for many years, and very successful with him. Jimmy Graham was a tight end who only played well in New Orleans, by the way. When he left New Orleans, he disappeared. Mike Thomas, Mike Thomas is a good receiver too. But they talked about him getting all these catches because he catches a lot of balls within 0 to 10 yards. Because Drew Brees doesn't have a cannon. But damn it, he throws with anticipation. He sees the field better than anyone else. He knows when to run. He's not Mike Vick, but he runs like Patrick Mahomes. He's fast enough when you need him to be. And just his level of quarterback smarts within his system. That's why Sean Payton brought him from the Chargers, drafted Phillip Rivers. Drew Brees got hurt. They said, hey, give me Brees. And I think he said the other guy he wanted, he needed Jonathan Vilma from the Jets, the linebacker. Took those guys. First year, Hurricane Katrina, they win the Super Bowl. The rest is history. The last guy who now is under Sean Payton as well, when we talk about, is Bo Nix. Bo Nix was not highly touted. Now, granted, he was a first-round pick coming out of the draft, but it was really because there was a run of quarterbacks. Broncos needed a quarterback, so they took Bo Nix, but I don't think they thought Nix was going to be as good as he was. Bo Nix was a lot like, to me, like Shedeur Sanders was there in Colorado. Shedeur Sanders didn't throw the ball down the field. A lot of checkdowns, a lot of screen, a lot of bubbles, but very, very accurate when he had to throw the ball. Bo Nix, at the time, his last year in college, I think he led all the college football in completion percentage as well. Again, not throwing the ball down the field, playing within a system, playing within himself, and being very successful last year with Denver. My question, though, is Bo Nix, in his system, didn't necessarily have a great game. Sean Payton is very, very adamant about quarterbacks playing within his system, not turning the ball over. Bo Nix is a little bit of doing that. Not in his nature, though. But I think he can be the next great system quarterback if Sean allows him to grow within himself. Bo Nix has all the characteristics to be a Drew Brees type player. Maybe not have all the success Drew had in terms of like all the 5,000-yard seasons. But again, I don't think a system quarterback is a derogatory term. I think it's a great term because not everybody can do it. Matter of fact, most quarterbacks can't do it. You have a handful, like you talk about Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, I'm trying to think who else. Probably Eli Manning, to an extent, who can operate operate outside of a system. But then you guys like Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff. Jared Goff, he went to Detroit, changed his system, much more efficient quarterback. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes would be Mahomes if he wasn't in Kansas City with Andy Reid. Let's think about that.
Yep.
Andy Reid is a hell of an offensive mind. You know, Matt Stafford's a guy that can operate in any system. Great success in Detroit individually, great success in LA individually. So the guys that can run a system the way they do it, I think have a better chance of winning the big game than quarterbacks who kind of just do their own thing and LeBron James it. You know, no shit against LeBron James, but he doesn't operate in a system like Jordan and Kobe did. Those systems helped make them champions, in my opinion, because they were able to operate within the system the way it was designed. Not everyone can do that. Carmelo couldn't do it. Carmelo tried to operate in the triangle, didn't work for him. Amari, triangle, didn't work for him. Okay, these quarterbacks, I think it's a huge compliment to them because they have the ability to absorb assimilated information and then produce it on the field the way it's intended, and the defense can't stop it.
Most definitely. I think they could, like, I agree with you 1,000%. I don't feel like the term system quarterback is derogatory. So, I mean, that's pretty much, like, I'm with you when you brought up Bo Nix and you brought up the comparison to Shedeur. It made me think about it, like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Both of them are coaches' sons. Like, both of them are, well-versed in football. So I expect good things out of Bo Nix with Sean Payton. So I feel like this is a good matchup, a football match, match for him. So it's I don't feel like the system quarterback is no derogatory term. I know certain players like Richard Sherman wanted to make it like a derogatory term, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Man, we got football back. Man, the Play Action Podcast, we got 16, 18 weeks to this, man. Come on now, bro. Oh, my God. Plus playoffs, man, y'all going to be seeing us at least up until February every week, man. So y'all tune in every Tuesday, 9 a.m. We going to be with you, man. So, man, appreciate y'all. Look, like, comment, subscribe. Comment if you want us to talk about some certain topics or certain teams that you want us to elaborate on. Or let us know who y'all favorite team is that y'all want to tap in with. So, man, I appreciate y'all. Tap in next week. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
Welcome to the show where the game comes alive. Breaking down the plays, we keep the spirit high. From the field to the mic with passion and flair. It's the Play Action Podcast, your ultimate fanfare. It's all some boys,